Hello, and welcome back to the Alan and Aparna's Magical Chocolates YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be making a beer candy in honor of Dylan Mulvaney. That's right, a Bud Light Shandy candy. Follow along with me. So to begin with, let's lay out all the things that you'll need. You're gonna need a wooden spoon to stir your candy with, or any other kind of heat-proof implement. You're going to need a pot. You're going to need a stove. You're going to need a measuring utensil of some kind, and you're going to need a thermometer. This is a digital infrared one. You're also going to need a silicone mold to mold your candies. The candy we're going to be making today is made out of white sugar, light corn syrup, the key ingredient, Bud Light, and to make it a Shandy candy, we're also going to be adding some lemon extract for a lovely citrus twist today. To begin with, I'm going to crack open a cold one for the guys, the gals, and the non-binary pals here on the internet. I'm going to measure out about a cup of this delightful beer, and then I'm going to start boiling it off. The alcohol will boil off, there will be no alcohol in our final candies. And I'm also going to measure out my 1 cup of sugar here while I have the time. And I'm going to let that beer come up to heat. I'm also pouring myself one, as you can see. We might be enjoying that here as we go through this process. Delicious. Anyway, I'm going to be boiling down this beer. I'm going to be simmering out all the alcohol content, and I want to concentrate the flavor because Bud Light has a fairly light flavor. It has light in the name. I prefer a beer that has more alcohol content and more flavor, but some people like Bud Light, and today we're doing a Bud Light candy, so it is what it is. I need to concentrate all that goodness. To do this, I'm going to boil it down until it's about a 1/4 cup, because my typical recipe has, as you can see, I'm measuring it out there, seeing how much water and alcohol I've boiled off. I'm going to get this down to about a 1/4 cup because my typical candy recipe uses a 1/4 cup of water, so I'm going to be substituting the Bud Light for the water in my typical recipe. Looks like I've got just about enough. I'm going to add my white sugar in there, and I'm going to add my 1/4 cup of corn syrup. And then we're going to mix this thoroughly and let this candy come up to 300 degrees. That's the hard crack stage for those of you following at home. As you can see, it will bubble quite a bit. I forgot to mention I'm also going to be using a large kitchen knife today to scrape the candy into the molds once I've deposited the candy into them. Still waiting on this to come up to temperature. I've sped this up about 6 times, but it is, you know, it's a process that takes some time. There's a reason why most people don't want to make candy at home, and it's that it takes time. But I find it to be very relaxing, very enjoyable, and of course you get to eat the final product and share it with your friends. Alrighty, so I am going to be adding my lemon right there. It bubbles up a little bit, and then I'm going to try and let this candy settle a little bit. Take another sip of my beer, and then we're going to scrape it into the mold. I'm just pouring it into the mold while it's still hot. And now I've got it out of the fridge. It's been in the fridge for, maybe half an hour or so. And I just got to demold all of these candies. They are a really lovely amber color. They're quite nice. They're quite cute looking. I was going to make this a recipe with color in it. I was going to do a blue, a white, and a pink for the transgender flag, but I just went with this instead, this lovely amber color. And there's your bowl of candy. As you can see, this is the Bud Light Shandy candy. And let's have a piece just to sample together. It's interesting. It reminds me a little bit of tea candy, like Chinese tea candy, which I quite enjoy. The lemon is there, but it's not overpowering. Yeah, it tastes like a beer, like a very sweet, sweet beer. It has kind of that grain-like note to it. I don't hate this at all. In fact, I think I like it better as candy than as beer. That's all for today, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to Alan and Aparna's Magical Chocolates, and stay tuned for our next video. I'm not quite sure what we'll be doing, but there's always something interesting going on here in the Candy Laboratory. Thank you for following along with me. Please give me a like. You can subscribe and hit that bell notification. Oh, that would just make my day. It really would. You know what else would make my day? If you leave me a nice comment, especially if you made it. You know, you can comment me the candy emoji down below. That really helps with my engagement. Thank you again for watching, and have a beautiful morning, noon, or night.